What's your name?
My name is Nikhil Sundar.
This is Fayaz Ali. So I want to ask you what you are doing in your life. Doing work or study or something else.
In the last year, I have just completed my 12th in 2016, and now I have cleared my exam of National Defence Academy, and I am just waiting for my joining in the July this month. Next month, July 2017. I will be having my joining at Pune Khadagwasla in Maharashtra.
What's your hobby?
My hobby is just writing journals. It's just similar to diary writing. In diary writing, I used to analyze some of the life situations which are happening in the country or which are happening around me. So I used to write in my daily journal.
So I'm feeling that you are a good observer. You are always trying to observe the things. So what is the thing which you observe most and you want to remove from our country that being the process of development?
First thing which I want to improve in our country is the poverty. As now many of the person are rich person, but what the problem is happening with them is just of sharing things. They don't usually share the things. Just I used to go to my home every day. I used to see many of the beggars, and many of the person are still living in the huts. Government has started to make pakka house, but they are not just yet to be in planned. So the first thing which I think that need to be improved is poverty, and next is the slow movement of the things. Everything in our country is on the slow pace. Nothing used to be get done on time. So corruption, due to which corruption is a major thing in which that is playing a slow process. So these two things which I analyze the most, that poverty and the slow pace processing of our country.
According to my experience, what I have seen in our country, that we cannot fail someone up to 10th, or 10th will be the last process where somebody can fail. So that is I think that is increasing unemployment and kind of things like you can pass in 36%, but you can't take admission up to 85%, some kind of colleges, and kind of reservation, the thing which is always occurring behind the candidates of SC and candidates of general. They are making huge difference between them, and cause of the unemployment is increasing. So what do you think? That is not a big problem for us while if unemployment will be increased, then the poverty will be increased. So that is the first thing we should remove, or something else you thinking about this?
Well, it was a quite good question that you have asked, that many of them are not being failed up to 10. So it have both advantage and disadvantage. They are not being failed up to 10 just because that many of the parents are not capable of sending their child. That if their ward is being failed in the 10th for once, then they will be not allow him to study for the 11th and 12th. So it is quite good for them that at least they will be going for an higher education, because in many of the jobs at least 10 plus 2 is required. And thinking practically, in nowhere, in bank also you will nobody will be asking you that from which stream you are actually. So the education system of our country is really different apart from which is being required actually in the practical life. As you will be becoming a security guard also, then they will be asking you that you should be past 10th. So I don't think so that passing 10th will make you a security guard or something else. So education system is apart different from in the practical life.
Which type of education system you want for our country, which can remove the type of difference
First
which is increasing?
Okay, good question. That first thing should be in our country should be a character building, by which the crimes, the molestation of the girls and the rapes which will be reduced. In Japan it is being done that up to class 4th to 5th the character building classes are being happen. They are being going through in the countries like Japan and some of the other countries also. So in our country the same thing should be imbibed. The character building classes should be there, and apart from that the practicals are there in colleges and school. Every school and colleges have practical labs, but no teacher is being focused towards them. Everyone is focused just towards the theoretical knowledge. So that should be stopped, and just we should step more towards practical knowledge. Practical should be there in the schools.
So as per the social aspect, what I thinking that if a grand one or a bigger one person can't do something that he thinks that must not be done by the children also, like he can't go to the cinema, that children must not go to the cinema. If they are thinking that dowry is a important thing for life, so they are blindly following that. And we can't stop. We can stop a person who is outside the home, but we can't stop somebody who is in our home. I can't make understand my elder sister or my younger brother. They are not listening me properly, but I can make understand someone else. So what do you think? The pairing of parents and the expectations of parents are increasing, and the mentality of students are being sinking because there is no patience. If somebody got fed, so there will be a chances of suicide. That's why the principal has been introduced CCE pattern. So now CCE pattern is gonna remove. So what do you think that the patience level we need, or we need some kind of superstitious or assumptions have been coming toward our ancestors are always blindly following like dowry and child labor. Many things are also there. So they are the part of our, they are always being the obstacles for our development. So what do you think about that?
My dear friend, the most biggest thing, the problem here is the patriarchal society and matriarchal society. What happens that our society is in a male dominant society. What a male person wants in a society, that is being done actually. So it can be removed just by, it can be just removed that if youth will be changing. A famous line, a quote which I'll be just sharing of Mahatma Gandhi, that be the change you want to see in the world. If you will be making a change in many of the part of the country, like I will be telling an incident of Manipur. What happens in the Manipur that after the marriage, the male person used to travel from his home to the other person, to the girl's home. So their society is a matriarchal society. So there is nothing, the sense of just giving her a dowry, nothing. These things are not happening in the that eastern part of the country. So these are happening mostly in the northern part, like in Haryana and Rajasthan. You talked about a lot about dowry system. So it can be just improved by making a thinking of youth. And another question which was yours, that your ancestors are forcing you, your parents are forcing you that they don't want to have a change in their family. So my dear friend, what I think that up to the time you will not make them understand that what is right, then you are not a successful person in your life. You have to make them understand that what is right, what is wrong, and what is happening wrong in our country, by which we can have a better future for our country too.
Yeah, one point you have also said about some kind of rape and the molestation of the girls.
Yes.
So I think there is if less relationships will be there, kind of religion aspects, kind of social aspects, the girls and boys are not talking to each other properly, they are not interacting with each other properly, and kind of they're kind of I can say the number of girls is less than the number of boys, and some kind of mentality aspect, some kind of village aspect, and some kind of illiteracy, they are increasing the situation of rape and molestation. So what do you think, if the religious aspect, there are less girls in, suppose if I talk about the arts, there are less girls, so cause of that rape and kind of molestation increasing, like in other countries, there is no foundation between a Jat or a Muslim kind of thing, I can say a Christian or some other religious girls and boys. But there is always a limitations between boys and girls. They can't talk to this one. This is a Mohammedan. You can't talk to him. This is a Christian. You can't talk to this girl. So kind of limitations here covering the India. That's why the crime of this type is increasing. What do you think about that?
I think that for that the person, I'll be sharing a small thing that religion and water bodies are just actually the same. Water is present in different water bodies like lakes, rivers. In every of all those except like in oceans, everyone has a water. Similarly, the religions, we have given them different names. But in every religion, only human beings are living actually. So what happens that mentality should be changed. And according to my thinking, that if the people will be changing their mentality towards life, that what happens in our country, that most of the things in different in foreign countries, no single sex schools are there actually. Every school is co-ed. Co-education is mostly forced in those schools. But what happened in our country, that the ancestors and also today also, many of the young leaders are forcing to have a different school for the girls. So by which we are deviating the path. We are just stopping the girls. Then these things will be happening in the country. So if you will be stopping all those things, we will be having a co-education in all those schools, in all those colleges. Then it will quite a positive environment will be formed. So by these, all those things will be reduced actually.
So our thinking is kind of same, I think.
Yeah.
So my friend want to ask you something. if you will have a authority, then what will you do to remove corruption from our country?
If I will be an authorized person to reduce in a corruption, I will be making in a good. I will be selecting about good officers in every sector who are just true to the nation. If they will be having a good relationship. That what I want to say that they should be true to the nation. They should be giving in a selfless service, because in most of the sector people are working just to earn money. So in every sector I will be just making a person who are true to the nation and who can give a selfless service, which will I think so that which will eradicate the corruption from the country.
But if you know about that, there are a lot of money deposited in Swiss bank. Then what will be your strategy to regarding to bring that money in our country?
If I would be an RBI head, then I would have made laws before that no person from our country should deposit money in outside banks. I would have made laws and I would have had a good relation with the Swiss bank that if any person from India deposit money in your bank, then let me know. I would have done that. But Swiss bank has different relation with our country towards our World Bank, and so it's very hard to get money back from the Swiss bank, because that bank is in a secret bank for which they are being known that any person can deposit anything in the Swiss bank. So it's loyalty of that bank which we can't say anything apart from for that bank.
Okay, thank you for this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Morning all of you. Thanks for being a part of this fantastic session and I am with Miss Sonia. So we are just asking some questions to related her life. So Miss Sonia, tell me about yourself.
My name is Sonia Soni. I am from Hers. My father's serving nation, by the way, as a jeweler, and his name is Amos. I have passed MA BEd and currently I am preparing for pursuing my target. My target is I want to become a first grade of lecturer. And my strength is my friends and my family, and my weakness is my mother, and also myself. Be confident, and my specialty, I don't know at this time what is my specialty and what my weakness, I told you, and my hobbies. My hobbies are listening and singing songs.
So tell me that which kind of songs you mostly sing.
I like classic songs.
Classic, you are like classic songs. So what about Bollywood songs you don't like?
I don't like most.
Okay. So what is your favorite color? Can you tell me?
My favorite color is baby pink.
Everything. Why not white?
It is my choice.
And so what about white? What do you think about white?
White color is the peace of color. And baby pink is the romantic color. That's why I like baby pink.
So you want to become a lecturer, first grade lecturer. So what qualities you have to be a lecturer? Can you tell me?
I have all qualities of be a lecturer.
So I want to know that which kind of qualities are mostly required to be a lecturer.
First thing is the confidence. Second thing is the speaking way. And confidence, speaking with confidence, the must for a teacher and also a lecturer.
But you already told that you have less confidence. So what do you think about what should you do to increase your confidence?
I have many times be confident on myself. I don't be confident other persons. It is my biggest mistake.
So what you do to remove these bad habits from you? What
When
you
I
do?
feel that I am be confident that time I speak no one with other person, and I feel and I think only on about myself. And how should I decrease my confidence? And when I feel that I should remove my confidence, then that time I weep many times.
So you are from Hars. So why Hars is famous?
Hars is a hill station, and also here is my village. That's why it's famous.
So So you visited Harsh.
Yeah.
What is the height of the mountain Harsh?
Harsh Hill is the second hill station before Guru Shikhar. I don't know clear what is the length of Harsh.
Okay, so why you want to learn English? Any special reason behind it?
No, it's my only passion.
This subject you are doing MA
History.
history. So do you know Hitler? Do you like Hitler?
No, I don't like.
Why? Because Hitler is a good leader. We can say in history that he fought in Second World War. So what do you think about Hitler?
Hitler is the biggest and more confident person in history, in world history, and it is he was very
Okay, tell me.
fighter person.
Okay, tell me what is the reason behind the World War II?
The Treaty of Versailles, the most reason of Second World War.
Okay, so what do you think about passion?
Passion in Junoon.
What's your passion?
My passion at this time, I want to learn English.
So English is your passion,
At this time,
or it is also your habit, and you want to be a good speaker in English.
yeah.
So what do you do to learn English to make your English perfect effectively? What do you do now?
I speak with my friends. I speak in my family members, and many times I want to learn a effective vocab. That by the vocab we can easily attract any person. So we have.
Okay, so can you tell me that what is the difference between animal and human?
Animals, most is the different. Animals has 4 legs and human has 2 legs.
Okay, so biologically we are same, but if we talk about physical structure, then animals have 4 legs and we have 2 legs. So do you believe in God?
Yeah.
So when you see God,
Never I didn't see God,
what do you believe in?
but
So which is better, trust or belief? Which is better?
trust. I think.
Trust is most important. Better than belief. Okay, Miss Sonia, to be a part of this session. You are doing very good job, and one day you will become a very good speaker. Thank you so much.
What you doing?
Currently, I'm pursuing from NET exam, and I have done my PG from biology and I want to be a college lecturer. That's why I'm looking for NET.
What do you think about your family?
I think my family is good for me. Yeah, and my there are 8 members in my family. My father is the head of my family, and I have 2 siblings, and 1 sister and 1 brother, and also a grandpa and grandmom, and my brother and my brother's sister.
In your family, to whom you do you like most?
Especially my father, I like most because my father always support me, and he whenever I got stuck, at that time my father always support me and always say to me, you can do it.
So earlier you were saying that you want to be a college professor. So why do you want that? Why anything else?
I think I just want to show the nation by teaching. I have such guts by in teaching era. That's why I like teaching.
What do you think about Indian teachers? They are good or not?
It depends on their mentality. There are also, we can see there are lots of example of good teachers and also bad teachers, also bad character. We can say it depends on their mentality, how they use their guts and their skills by teaching.
So what type of skills you will use, or you can say that you are a good teacher, you can be a good professor. So what type of skills you have and you will be take that for teaching?
I think I have lots of knowledge and also confidence. By using my confidence and my knowledge, I can teach in a better way.
So which subject you like most, in which you have a great knowledge?
In English, because I have passed the literature. So yeah, my PG by literature.
Actually, one question is always occurring in my mind that I is a singular. I is singular, you is singular, but always have is coming with you, and some other example in which I is coming plural helping verb. So what's the reason behind that?
If you talk about the pronoun I, and in present situation, it is used as a plural subject. And if you talk about past and also in future condition, that it is used as a singular.
How you will describe it that you is not a plural, you is a plural, not a singular? Because I know you means tum and tum is a singular person. So how will you describe it?
In English, we can see, if you talk about Hindi, then Hindi we can say aap, tum, you and he. And in English, there is only one word, it is you. And in also for I, because I means me. I means me.
So I is only you.
Yeah.
That means I is singular, but I have is coming, not I has is coming. Like he has a pen, that is a singular sentence. Like I have a pen, that is not I has a pen. So what do you think about that?
I think it's a grammatical term. I don't think I don't have lots more ideas about it, but I read in grammar.
Actually, don't you feel bad? But you have said that I have great knowledge of English, so I have been asked that tell me about your life. Earlier you were saying that your father is supporting to you. So in what type of things your father supported you, and you feel like that my father is the best father, not other. My mother is not supporting as well as your father is supporting you. Have named tell the name of mother. Generally, I am listening that. Students or they are always liking mother much than father, but you are the one who likes father much than mother. So what is the reason behind that?
Since my childhood, I used to love my father most, because whenever I got, if you talk about my 10th class, at that time I got only 60 at marks, and then my elder brother said me, and you couldn't get good marks and in 12th class, and you couldn't get a good job. Then my father at that time suggested me that percentage doesn't matter. How many marks you get in 10th class, it doesn't matter. You should move on, and you should try next time, and you should try to do better in 12th class. Then
What is process for a professor?
process for professor, you if a candidate who should be the degree of NET in a particular subject.
So you were saying that in a 12th, your father has said that in class 12th you will get good marks. So what marks you have got in class 12th?
In 12th class, I got 72% marks with BCP, and I had passed in my 12th class by Government Senior Secondary School, Kandela.
So you have 72% and you are a B. I think you have completed BSc also, and now you are proceeding.
No, I have. After that, I left my science stream, and I chose arts, and I did BA. After that, I did MA with English literature.
Up to 12th you have science, and
Yeah.
after that you have chosen arts. Why it is so?
It happened so that's why when the time for taking admission at the admission of college, at that time I got injured. I fractured my leg, and I couldn't able to attend classes. That's why I got late, and when the time of admission I went there, then the professor of college said to me, you can't take admission in science subject. You can't do BSc nursing because the syllabus of this type of stream has passed at least 40%. Then he suggests me to take arts.
So are you don't regretting that you have choose
No.
arts?
No, I
In spite
don't.
of him.
At that time, I didn't regret because I have lots of talent in my academic session also, because I got at least in 10th class I got first rank, in 12th class I got second rank, and also at board I have passed the art board. At that time I got second rank. And didn't matter it.
So you are very satisfied that what you have did.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with what I did, and I never regret about my past. Whatever has done, I have done. I never regret about that.
Yes, that's a very good spirit. Thank you, sir. Nice to talk.
Okay. Thank you.